Hey, soldiers, got some FTX news for you. When we follow a story, we follow it to the end, and FTX ain't going to be ending no time soon. Anyway, senior attorney over at FTX is alleged to have helped FTX founder Sam Bankman Fried misuse customer funds. So, why is that important? Because this is looking more and more like a real deal criminal organization, okay, where people actually went into this with intent to defraud, not something they just stumbled into, okay? But there could be real deal intent here. And we're covering this because, guys, look, a lot of you soldiers are crypto enthusiasts, and I respect that. I've learned a lot about crypto, much more than I knew before I started this channel, because of Soldiers of Finance helping me to learn more. Now, am I buying crypto? No, I'm not. But I do thoroughly understand the essence and the value of the concept. A lot of concepts, though, meet with reality, and, best laid plans of mice and men sometimes go awry. Listen, guys, let's get into this. Go ahead, hit subscribe. Let me know you enlisted and became a soldier of finance by hitting that subscribe button. Let me know you did that in the comments. I will salute you. Also, hit the thumbs up button. Let more people know what we're doing here. That's a vote of confidence. And I thank you all for being so diligent in hitting that thumbs up. Lastly, guys, check out the join button. Hit that. There's a video on there that should pop up that will tell you all about what we're offering. And I'm telling you right now, it is designed specifically to keep you on the road to financial independence. We're actually taking deep dives and looking at asset classes and doing some real deal instruction, helping you learn how to keep your money working hard for you, harder for you than you work for it. Hit the join button, find out more. So here's where we are. Senior attorney over at FTX, okay? Looks like he's been allegedly. We want to preface it by saying allegedly. Got to protect the platform, right? Unnamed lawyer in document appears to be crypto exchange's former chief regulatory officer, Daniel Friedberg, people say. Now, the Wall Street Journal is reporting this. If it ain't Daniel Friedberg, then Wall Street Journal's got a problem. So, Mr. Friedberg, I know you're watching this video. We are merely reporting what the Wall Street Journal is saying. And we know that you have not been charged with a crime. And even if you were, that you are innocent until proven guilty. So here we go. FTX Chief Executive John J. Ray III released a report that alleged an unnamed senior lawyer assisted the crypto exchange's founder, Sam Bankman Fried, in misusing customer deposits. Based on the actions that the report alleges, the unnamed lawyer in the document appears to be FTX's former chief regulatory officer, Daniel Friedberg. People familiar with the matter said. They better be damn familiar, because if it ain't Friedberg, Wall Street Journal, y'all got a problem. Friedberg has been cooperating with the investigation and didn't know about the misuse of FTX customer funds, said one of the people who is close to Friedberg. The report alleged that the lawyer and Bankman Fried lied to banks and auditors, executed false documents, and moved between jurisdictions to avoid the detection of wrongdoing. The exchange owed customers $8.7 billion at the time of its collapse, the report said. A spokesman for Bankman Fried declined to comment. Now, we know that Bankman Fried has not pled guilty to any of the charges against him. He's currently holed up at his parents' house. Nice pad out in California. He's got a nice pool out there, that house. I wish I had a pool. I could just dip in on one of these hot days. But, Sam, he's got the pool. He's out at his mother and father's house preparing for the prosecution, part of which is going to start in October. Federal prosecutors have accused Bankman Fried of stealing billions of dollars from FTX customers while defrauding investors and lenders to his crypto investment firm, Alameda Research. 3 members of Bankman Fried's inner circle have pleaded guilty. Caroline Ellison, Gary Wang, and I forget the other gentleman's name. They've pled guilty to fraud charges and agreed to assist federal prosecutors. When FTX was first launched, the company struggled to get bank accounts where users could transfer dollars and other government-issued currencies to begin trading crypto, the report said. The exchange initially used sister trading firm Alameda to receive funds. FTX and its related companies later created an entity called North Dimension for FTX banking assets, or access, rather. So they couldn't get into banks. It was hard to do. So they got a lot of money sitting around, right? And they're trading crypto. Because remember how Bankman Fried first started out. He actually had a hell of an idea. What he was doing was he was saying, okay, I'm looking at these foreign markets. So Bitcoin is trading over here in America or whatever crypto. It's trading for $10. Okay, let's just be conservative for ease of mathematics right now. It's trading for $10 a Bitcoin. But over here in, let's say, Japan, it's trading for $10, the equivalent of $10.50 per Bitcoin. So what he would do is he would play that arbitrage game where he would buy it over here and then sell it over there. And because it's selling higher over there, he basically was buying low, selling high, making a profit, okay? And he was doing that to a fare thee well. He was making a decent amount of money. But what happened was a lot of other firms started to catch on, and they had, bigger, better resources, deeper pockets, and they kind of chipped into that market. So after that, he went and opened up a full-fledged crypto exchange. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. But the allegations against him are that he misused the funds that were coming in there. So that's the whole thing, how he started. They didn't have banking access in the beginning. A lot of money laying around. At the direction of the unnamed attorney, FTX and its related companies, quote, falsely represented to a bank that North Dimension was a crypto trading firm with substantial operations, when in fact, North Dimension was a shell company with no operations, the report said. Accounts for North Dimension were later used by FTX customers to wire funds to the exchange. Now, this is one of the things that is going to actually make it difficult to prosecute this case. There are a lot of twists and turns. There's a lot of both technical and financial jargon going on. And if it's one thing that the American people kind of gloss over on is when you start talking deep mathematics, especially with economics, okay, anything of a financial nature, you get too deep, you can start to lose a lot of people. Same thing with technical, issues. People like me, I'm not the most tech savvy person, okay? And if you sit me on a jury hearing about, oh man, God, I'm trying to follow this and then that happened. I've got the financial side, but you try to connect that with the technical side, and that's where you'll lose me. So finding 12 people who are going to be able to understand this is going to be a challenge for the prosecution. The defense, hey, they probably want me on that jury. But you ain't going to get me because I'm not in the jurisdiction. And all these YouTube videos I've done, they probably disqualify me in a heartbeat. Although I have been fair, okay, I do recognize that he has a presumption of innocence with regard to how the government looks at this, and they've got to prove their case, okay? In early 2022, a less senior attorney for FTX and its related companies raised concerns that North Dimension accounts were being used to fund FTX exchange customer withdrawals. Read that again. The accounts were being used, this is an allegation, the accounts were being used to fund FTX exchange customer withdrawals. The unnamed senior attorney fired the people that raised those concerns. The senior attorney with the participation of Bankman Fried also created sham agreements that purported to legitimize certain improper transfers and arrangements of FTX, allegedly, and its related companies, the report said. One intercompany agreement made in early 2021 was backdated by nearly 2 years. It was given to an external auditor retained to prepare audited financials for FTX's completed initial public offering. The person close to Friedberg disputed the report's characterization of the FTX Alameda Intercompany Agreement and said the former FTX chief regulatory officer didn't know that North Dimension was used for FTX customer returns. Okay, so tangled web they have weaved here, but a lot of opportunity for the government to go in. I bet they'd love to talk to Friedberg and get him to plead to something, okay, and get another witness on the board against the big fish that they really want, which is Sam Bankman Fried. Now, here's another aspect of this. Bankman Fried and other FTX executives sought to relocate to the Bahamas after Hong Kong announced plans to regulate crypto exchanges, the report said. In July, and look, let me say this. Some might say, oh, he was trying to escape scrutiny, and maybe. But companies do want to go where there is less regulation, especially if you get a heads up that some of that regulation might be onerous and burdensome, okay? So money's going to flow where it's treated best. And there's nothing inherently suspicious about that, okay? It just turns out that coincident to that, we've got a company that has been accused of a crap load of malfeasance. In July 2021, the unnamed attorney offered a former Bahamian government official acting as an attorney a $1 million bonus to procure a necessary business license for FTX Digital Markets, a Bahamian subsidiary of the FTX exchange. Within 10 weeks, the attorney obtained the license less than 6 weeks later. The person close to Friedberg confirmed that Friedberg signed off on the $1 million bonus, but said the sum wasn't paid to a Bahamian lawyer in their capacity as a former government official. Okay? And said there was nothing untoward about the payment. Yeah. Usually done in 10 weeks. Did it in 6. Ray and his team said that they have recovered $7 billion in assets that can be easily sold. The majority of the $8.7 billion that the exchange owed customers was in the form of government-issued currency or currencies pegged to government money that had been misappropriated. But here's the problem, and we did the video on this. The IRS has stepped in, and they have said that FTX owes tens of billions of dollars in back taxes, and they are shouldering their way into the front of the line and saying all these folks that were unsecured creditors are going to come after us. So if we got tens of billions owed to the IRS and only close to $8 billion recovered, like we said in the video where we covered this, is anybody going to be able to actually get anything out of it? All right. That remains to be seen. Now, people are looking at crypto as an alternative. I had a conversation with one of the soldiers of finance in the comment section. And he was saying, you know, if something happens and I need to flee the nation, sure, I can easily transfer Bitcoin much more simply than if you got gold or silver, you know. You can transfer your Bitcoin, take it with you, and you can do so without a lot of hassle and with some anonymity as well. All right, so that piece leads to what is happening in America where you would even have to think about fleeing the country. Nomad Capitalist does a great job of showing you where money is being treated better in terms of places you might want to go. Now, I'm staying in the United States. I'm going to turn the lights out. I'm not going anywhere. But I do understand that some people, may be desirous of that, and more power to them. I don't begrudge them. That is their right. But if you look at some of the other countries and how they're looking at the United States right now, even though they're outside the country, they see things kind of going in a direction that is not necessarily where we've been, okay, in terms of prosperity. Take a look at this video where we have an African country talking about how they're really questioning the U.S. dollar and its hegemony, all right? And as the dollar starts to decline, might make it more advantageous to hold some crypto. I'm not endorsing it. I don't own any crypto. But again, I do understand the concept. Watch this video. See how countries are starting to take a look at the very critical look at the US dollar and divesting away from it in multiple ways. Guys, I'll talk to you soon.